Imagine a city. Today, it's full of lights, luxury, and modern life. But in the 1600s, that same city was a breeding ground for disease, a victim of destruction, and a place where death was everywhere. This is the story of London, a time when people weren't living, they were just trying to survive. In this video, you'll discover how a deadly plague wiped out thousands, how a massive fire destroyed the entire city, and how London still rose to become one of the most powerful cities in the world. Stay till the end, because the final twist will shock you. In the early 1600s, London was growing fast. More people, more trade, more opportunities. But there was one big problem. The city was filthy. No proper sewage system. Dirty drinking water. Narrow, overcrowded streets. People threw garbage directly onto the roads and then walked through it like it was normal. At that time, England was ruled by Queen Elizabeth. London was becoming a cultural hub. In the early 1600s, London was growing fast. More people, more trade, more opportunities. But there was one big problem. The city was filthy. No proper sewage system, dirty drinking water, narrow, overcrowded streets. People threw garbage directly onto the roads and then walked through it like it was normal. At that time, England was ruled by Queen Elizabeth I. London was becoming a cultural hub. Theatres were booming. Art was rising. And one legendary name dominated the stage. In just 1 year, over 70,000 people died. Think about that. Houses were marked with a red cross, meaning infected inside. Entire families were locked in. Unable to escape, people were too scared to even bury their loved ones. One man documented everything. Just when things were starting to recover, another disaster struck. Great Fire of London. Date: September 2nd, 1666. Location: a small bakery. It started as a tiny fire, but because of wooden houses, narrow streets, strong winds, that small fire turned into a nightmare. It burned for 4 days straight. Over 13,000 homes destroyed, thousands left homeless. People tried to save their belongings. Disease killed thousands. Fire destroyed the city, and politics shook the nation. They stayed and faced death. Days turned into weeks, and the city of London began to change completely. The streets that were once full of life were now almost empty. Shops were closed. Church bells rang constantly, not for celebration, but for death. Every ring meant someone else was gone. At first, people tried to stay hopeful. They prayed. They waited. They believed it would pass. But it didn't. It only got worse. Entire families disappeared overnight. Neighbors stopped speaking to each other. Even friends refused to come close, because now everyone was a threat. Some people locked themselves inside their homes, refusing to step outside for days, even weeks. Others did the opposite. They gave up completely. They walked through the streets, accepting their fate. At night, the silence was broken by one terrifying sound: wooden carts, rolling slowly through the streets, collecting bodies, stacked one over another. No names, no identities, just numbers. A witness to this horror, Samuel Pepys, wrote about how fear had taken over the city. He described people crossing the street just to avoid each other, as if even being near someone could kill them. As the death toll rose, fear turned into something darker: suspicion. People started blaming each other. Foreigners, the poor, even their own neighbors. Rumors spread quickly. The air is poisoned. Animals are spreading it. This is punishment from God. In panic, thousands of dogs and cats were killed because people believed they carried the disease. But in reality, that only made things worse, because rats, the real carriers, multiplied even more. The city was no longer just sick, it was collapsing. Funerals disappeared. There was no time, no space, no energy. Mass graves were dug outside the city. Bodies were thrown in, one after another. No prayers, no goodbyes. Imagine losing your entire family and not even being able to bury them properly. That was daily life in London. Some people tried to help: doctors, priests, volunteers. But many of them died too, because no one was safe. And then, slowly, something strange happened. The number of deaths started to fall. No one knew why. There was no cure, no treatment. Maybe it was the weather. Maybe the disease had run its course. Or maybe the city had already lost too many people. By late 1665, the worst was over. Survivors stepped outside for the first time in months. But what they saw was not the same London. A city once full of life was now scarred by death. Empty homes, silent streets, and memories everywhere. People thought the nightmare was finally over, that they could rebuild their lives, start again. But they were wrong, because in 1666, a new disaster was about to begin, one that would not just kill people, but destroy the entire city. September 2nd, 1666. Just after midnight, the city of London sleeps, unaware that everything is about to change. In a small bakery on Pudding Lane, a spark ignites. At first, it's nothing, a small flame, easy to ignore. But within minutes, the fire begins to grow. Wooden walls catch quickly. Dry timber feeds the flames. And then the wind picks up. What started as a small accident turns into something unstoppable. The fire moves fast, too fast, from house to house, street to street, jumping across rooftops like it's alive. The buildings are packed tightly together, most made of wood, covered in tar. Perfect fuel. People wake up to the smell of smoke, then heat, then panic. They open their doors and see it. A wall of fire, flames rising into the sky, glowing orange against the darkness, crackling, roaring, hungry. Within hours, the streets are filled with chaos. People run in every direction, carrying whatever they can: money, clothes, children. Others carry nothing at all. The fire doesn't slow down. It chases them, relentless. Sparks fly through the air, landing on rooftops far away, starting new fires. There is no escape, only delay. Word reaches the king, King Charles II. He knows the danger immediately. Orders are given: tear down buildings, create fire breaks, stop the flames from spreading. But it's too late. The fire is already out of control. Even soldiers struggle to hold it back. The heat is unbearable. The smoke suffocates the city. Desperate, people flee toward the River Thames. Boats overflow with survivors. Others jump into the water, just to escape the flames. From the river, they watch their city burn, homes collapse, churches crumble, entire streets vanish in fire. Everything they've ever known, gone. The fire burns for 4 days. 4 days of chaos, 4 days of fear, 4 days of destruction. By the time it ends, over 13,000 homes are destroyed. Most of the city is gone. The fire finally slows, not because it was stopped, but because there was nothing left to burn. Silence. Where there was once a city, there is now smoke, ash, and ruins. The people of London step forward carefully, walking through what remains. No streets, no homes, just emptiness. The plague had taken lives. But this had taken everything else. But in the middle of destruction, there is opportunity, a chance to rebuild, to start again. And from these ashes, a new London will rise, stronger, smarter, different, led by visionaries like Christopher Wren, who will reshape the city and give it a future. London didn't just survive the fire, it died that night.